Hi everyone, and welcome to this little video where I want to talk about my recent switch from fire multishot to physical. This is something I get a lot of questions about, and we have been running like the Arsenal rune since the dawn of time pretty much. It has only ever been like the one dominant rune, and people seem to be a little confused, and for good reason. So basically we're comparing the full broadside rune to the Arsenal rune, and full broadside has a higher AoE clearing potential because just the AoE portion of the skill is 37% higher. It's 500% weapon damage instead of 360, and it has no rockets. And basically what you can do is you trade the fire for the physical rune, and you also trade the ballistics passive for another passive, which in my case is awareness, since I haven't been running with awareness previously. Theoretically, you could also go with a damage passive like sharpshooter or archery, but they both really suck, and generally you will get more out of awareness. So if you look at the damage values from hitting different amounts of targets, you can see that, for example, on one target, broadside is around half of the damage of the Arsenal rune, because and like the rockets deal a lot of damage. They're 600%, and like even up to 3 targets, that will be the same. You know, like fire will deal roughly double the damage of full broadside. But the more targets you have, the more value the AoE portion gains, of course. And you can see this here. Like at 10 targets, it's starting to get pretty close, and at 13 targets, it's actually a point where you break even using the physical multishot. I think in reality, physical multishot is a little bit better already a little bit earlier, since the rockets also hit kind of random targets, not always the targets you want, because they just go anywhere, and they might not hit, you know, like the targets right inside of the middle of the pool, so get a little bit less area damage value and so on. So I think generally like hitting 11 to 12 targets will make physical better than fire. Yeah, and this is basically what I use to my advantage for my pushing. I recently cleared the 111 with physical, and it's not really that much stronger, but it is, like, based on my experience so far, I like a tiny bit stronger. I would say roughly like half a tier. Also, my clanmate Solba also experimented with it after I did the switch, and he also came to like the same conclusion. And this is basically like what we think, you know, like, yeah, around half a tier. But the thing is that it's very difficult to actually make use of this advantage that you have. I mean, having awareness definitely will help out a lot of people that, you know, might have trouble surviving. But the biggest part about pushing Multishot to the maximum is definitely making good pulls and surviving those. And the surviving part is, I would say, the smaller portion of that. The really big thing is making big pulls, and if you have trouble with that, then probably Arsenal will definitely be the better choice for you, like, even if you don't have awareness and you might die sometimes. Simply because you need to herd up the monsters properly, and you really have to be very good at deciding when to kill off elites and when to just skip them, or, you know, like when you have to try to, you know, nuke them down with all the trash that you have and so on, because you can't just stand there and finish off any elites, basically, like at least not on tier 110 plus. You know, you can do that on like 100, 102, 104, whatever, but you know, at some point everything will have so much HP that, you know, like the trash will die and the elites are left with like 40% HP or even 20%. You can't just stand there and shoot them down. With Arsenal you can kind of do that sometimes because you have double the damage, but with broadside it's definitely not possible. So yeah, it works really good in really dense rifts, and generally it also seems to be working pretty well on really bad rifts. Like from what I noticed from my pushing when I was still doing 109s, is it seems more consistent to clear rifts with full broadside compared to Arsenal. That's just a little bit surprising, but it kind of makes sense, because in those very bad rifts, you're never gonna kill any elite ever anyway. So basically what I just did, you know, like I went from, you know, pull to pull, just try to, you know, group up some monsters quickly, and then do like 1 or 2 convention cycles, get some trash progression and move on. And this worked pretty well. So basically I was playing, when I was pushing 109s, I was playing almost every rift, and I went to like floor 4, floor 5, floor 6, floor 7 sometimes, and I was still on time, because the trash clearing ability is just so much better. And that's actually quite funny. So you would think that the rockets, would make it more consistent because it can finish off, high HP targets, the occasional elite or so on. But on these high tiers, you're never really gonna kill any elites unless it's already like a good rift anyway. Something like a long battlefields map, a long festering woods. Sometimes, in some other maps that's also possible. That depends a lot on the monster types you have and the elite monster type that you have. But yeah, generally you just kill the trash and move on, basically. And yeah, so this is about it. If you're really good at making pulls, then I would definitely recommend switching to physical. It's not really mandatory to push to the maximum. As I said, it's just like a little bit stronger. So the 110 with like comparable character strength has already been done by another demon hunter, and yeah, I could have probably cleared that 111 in like a slightly better rift with fire rune as well. So there's that, and I hope you enjoyed my little explanation here. And yeah, you can try out the physical rune, and if, for example, if you have like really good gear for physical, you could do that. Like if you have like a super good hellfire with physical damage but no hellfire with fire damage, for example, then that could probably be like the point where it becomes worth, even if you're having trouble with like playing it really, really well. But yeah, generally it seems like a better choice to just go with Arsenal if you are not really pushing super high. And also for farming, like for example, if you do like the 80s or 90s or whatever, or even like 100 solo farming, if you have like a pretty strong character, I would generally recommend Arsenal because in those tiers you do kill off basically everything that you encounter. You're never really going to skip anything, and for that purpose, Arsenal is definitely a little bit better. And you can just stand there and shoot down the elites that you want, and the rift guy will die pretty fast and so on. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.